guys, it's Kaylin, and today I'm going to be going over my January wrap-up. I only got to 3 books this month, but hey, I'm reading, that's what we're here for, so let's just jump right to it. So the first book that I read is a series that everyone has been raving about, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Going into this, my expectations were pretty high just because it's been super hyped on BookTube for years. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I find it mind-blowing or anything out of this world? Not at all. First off, we're told multiple times that Selena is a notorious assassin. She's the best of the best. She can beat and kill anyone that comes in her way. Yet I don't see her as an assassin. There's no doubt about it that she's a great fighter with great instincts, but I don't see it at that assassin level. For example, when it comes to the competition, Selena doesn't want to stick to the middle. She wants to be noticed. She wants the attention on her, which doesn't make any sense. Like, why do you have to prove yourself to these people if you know you're the best? Which kind of confused me because not only is she an assassin, but she's supposed to be the best assassin. You would think that she could refrain from drawing attention to herself because that's just not the smart thing to do. So another thing an assassin wouldn't do, so I've heard, is gobble up a bunch of food left on your bed without knowing who it's from. If that isn't Assassin 101, I don't know what it is, but it just really bothered me. Other examples I can talk about too, but another major one is when it comes to the competitions. In order for Selena not to go back to Endeavor, she has to win this competition, be an assassin for the king for 4 years, and then she can be free. So I was expecting a lot from these competitions. I was excited for it. However, the competitions seem to take a back seat to the love triangle. Don't get me wrong, I love a good love story, but it doesn't make sense for it to be such a top priority to Selena when she really needs to win these competitions in order to survive. I'm just sitting here thinking, Selena, where's your priorities, girl? You need to survive. This whole lovey-dovey thing going on doesn't even matter if you're not around for it. So that's the end to my little rant. Even with all that said, I still see why people like this story. I don't plan on stopping with this one. I'm going to continue with the series because I hear it does get better. I also hear that Assassin's Blade really rounds Selena out as a character and makes you believe she's this assassin, and that's what I want. I don't want to stop with this. I want to continue on and see where the story takes Selena and see if it's a series that I can really get into. The next book that I read is Three Dark Clowns by Kendra Blake. It's about these 3 sisters who are all queens, but in order to become like the top queen, they have to fight it out to the death, and who's ever left standing gets to be placed on the throne. They each have these different powers. One is an elemental, which can control fire, earth, water. Next one is a poisoner who can ingest poisons without harming themselves. The third is a naturalist, and with naturalist, they become connected to a certain animal and becomes their familiar. If you're going into this book thinking it's going to be packed full of action, you'll be disappointed because it's definitely a slower read. It is more political, but I do like those kind of books. I like character building. At the end of the book, it does speed up and it does kind of get you on the edge of your seat. So it does have me interested for the next book coming out. The one thing that I really did not appreciate is the love triangle. It's a very strange love triangle, and for those of you who read it, you know what I mean. It just made me feel really uncomfortable. I don't think it was necessary. The story could have been just fine without it. It just brings this unneeded attention, and it just really took away from the story for me. It just seems very silly, and it's just bleh. And the last book that I read is a first in another beloved series, and that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Is this book predictable? Yes, it is, but I loved every minute of it. I loved her writing. It goes so smoothly. It was a fast and easy read, but I found myself really enjoying Cinder. She's this cyborg who has an evil stepmother. It really was pleasantly surprising. I didn't think I would be someone who would be into fairy tale retellings, or even sci-fi for that matter. Probably the reason why I've been keeping my distance from starting this series is the whole sci-fi aspect of it. The only sci-fi book I've read is The Host by Stephanie Meyer, and I know I shouldn't base sci-fi off of just that book, but I hated that book so much, and it made me feel so uncomfortable and uneasy. It just kind of pushed sci-fi away altogether from me, and it didn't make me interested in it whatsoever. It's one of my goals for 2017 is to pick up more sci-fi and give it more of a chance, because I shouldn't let Stephanie Meyer's book make that decision for me. So going back to the fact that I said this was predictable, I was talking about like the climax of the story, the twist near the end. I know I can't be the only one who thought that was completely obvious. Maybe it was meant to be, but it was still enjoyable. I just thought that was kind of funny. I came to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I already knew that back in the beginning. That's okay. Like I said, I'm gonna continue on with this. I'm super excited and I'm glad that I branched out a little bit. Alright, so that is my January wrap-up. Let me know what you guys have read so we can have bookish discussions about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.